Hi, Michelle. I thought I'd show you this with a video. So this is App Inventor. It's for Android, and if you got an iPhone, it's not going to work. So this is how you get to see it. So how you build it is it's a series of screens with a label, an image, a button, and some text, and that's it. It's just kind of over and over again. So each of these large rectangles here is a screen. That's my splash screen, the entry screen. And there's like a table of contents screen, which is a series of buttons, and the buttons just have a picture instead of a, so here's some that aren't done yet. These are just text buttons, and I turn the text button into a picture button. And these are different types of caterpillars. There's about a dozen different types of caterpillars that we looked at when we were in Reno. So there's a button for each one. So the purpose of this is for potential teachers to look at it and say, oh, I know what these, here's my caterpillar, and here's what it looks like, but I have no idea what to name it. So instead of looking for the scientist to say, here it is, or the taxonomist tell them what it is, they have a little application to help them name it. So let's see here. So basically when they click on one of those buttons, it'll go to a screen like this, and it tells them the name, and tells them something about the caterpillar, and then I can tell them, well, I can show them different ways these can look, different species within the family. So the order is, God, what is it? Lepto something, I've forgotten. And then the family is geometrid, and in the family there's all kinds of species. Some have 20, 30 or more, depending on what tree they're on, and what part of the country, what part of the world. Anyway, so this is the way it works. There's just screen after screen after screen, and so there'll be like 15 or 16 screens when I'm done. And here's the property manager for it and the components for it. It's all right here. And then once you have that part done, you do the logic for it, and the logic for it is on this screen. And it just shows you, like, remember I told you how you don't have to know code, and they change these lines of code in the graphics, and they kind of fit together like Legos? Well, that's how it works. So this says here, to make the button to the Galachiid, when I click on that button, it closes the screen, or it makes that visible false to make the screen go away, and then it puts on the screen called Galachiid visible. So it turns one screen off, turns one screen on, and then a button that goes back to it turns that screen off and on again. So if we look over here, this is how it works. Here's what it looks like on the phone. They call this the emulator. So if I click on start, here's my splash screen, or the table of contents screen. And if I choose a caterpillar, the top one here, well, that's the geometrid. So the geometrid is also called loopers, span worms, inchworms, and it gives you a bunch of different pictures of what these things can look like. There's also a link to, I put on here for a YouTube video, but I haven't figured out how to make that work yet. Anyway, that's my Android app for this project. And the big project is right here. This is called Adobe Captivate. So it's like a, oh God, I don't know how to describe it. It's a website slash PowerPoint making program that outputs in Flash. So it becomes a Flash website. So each of these buttons will be links to other pages that I made, and we go scroll through them here. So there'll be a lot of video on here. When I was out there, I took a video on a number of different things. So there'll be video from different parts of the experience. The PI has a lecture and a couple lectures about caterpillars, about different stuff, basically. There's a video on it's the Sage Hen guy, Jeff, the crazy guy here. He's a lot of fun. My favorite quote is, "You're hemorrhaging water. You're just hemorrhaging water all the time." He's nuts. So there's that guy, and so I'll basically make a quiz and some of the stuff for teachers to, to scaffold this for them to learn about it. And then there's all kinds of video of us out in the field collecting caterpillars and identifying them while we're out there. And then they have the zoology part of it. So we're in the lab in the field, and we're actually like packaging these things up so they can rear them out to moths or watch them get parasitized. So that's video on that. And what's this one? Moth collecting at night. That was pretty good. And then closing lecture. So this will that application will go right here, and it'll be on a screen. So there'll be like a QR code that you click on with your phone, and it'll load into your phone, and you'll have that too. So it's probably 4 or 5 times as much as the average person in my class is going to make, but that's just me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and that's all.